Some or your front door. Experts blame a post-pandemic buying spree. Snobby estates in the nation. Watch. CBS's Diane King Hall with results from the career site Zippia.
Massachusetts took the crown, followed by Vermont, Connecticut, and New York. Meanwhile, West Virginians were the most humble. Zippia compiled its list weighing factors like education levels, number of Ivy Leagues, and wine consumption.
S&P futures down 15. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
Sound Asleep Lab is the only freestanding physician-owned accredited sleep lab in mid-Michigan. We Lab Sleep Studies, the most cost-efficient sleep lab with average cost less than half when compared to others, with 4 convenient locations in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant, with 4 full-time practitioners dedicated to treatment of sleep apnea and other sleep disorders. Appointment usually within 1 to 2 weeks. Please discuss with your primary care provider or call 989-792-2792 for appointment. 792-2792, or check us out at soundasleeplab.com.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless they're ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Live and 790 Newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 34 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Delta College is hosting vaccine clinics today and Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The drive-through event is for anyone ages 16 and older, though teens age 16 and 17 must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. The college asked residents to use the Delta Road entrance. There are 250 doses of the Pfizer vaccine available. No appointment is necessary. An evidence review has determined that a January officer-involved shooting that killed a man in Chesson. WSGW's Ann Williams reports.
The Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office issued a statement Monday saying members of the Michigan State Police Emergency Support Team who fired at John Knightling on January 7th did so to protect themselves and others. Officers shot Knightling multiple times after he pointed a gun at them through a wall as they were executing a high-risk search warrant at an apartment at 406 East Broad in the village of Chesaning. Knightling and a woman at the scene both failed to obey officers' commands. The Bay Area Narcotics Enforcement Team, known as Bayonet, had sought the search warrant after undercover officers brought methamphetamine from the suspect. Previously been executed at the same address. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
Reports from Wade Trim Civil Engineering have determined 87% of Bay City roads are in poor condition. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Of the 183.4 miles of city roadway studied, only 24 miles scored a 5 out of 10 or higher rating on the state-recognized pavement surface evaluation rating scale, with only 1% of that being considered in good condition. Brian Frisk, an engineer with Wade Trim, says the city should use the study and proposed repair process to develop an updated road replacement and repair plan, which could save taxpayer funds and travel headaches in the future by instead of deteriorating and becoming more costly.
Applying the right fix to the road is an important factor. Having a plan and knowing what to do on a specific road as opposed to just guessing. Putting a crack seal on a road that's a 3 or 4 is just wasted money. And part of this plan is going to help make sure that the dollars are allocated to the right road, the right fixes applied to that road, so that you're not wasting money.
The study was done as part of the State Transportation Asset Management Plan, which aims to help identify where funds should be prioritized and help eventually shift repair focuses from worst done first to maintaining good roads. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 9:07.
Security. You've spent your entire working life paying into it. So don't you want to get the most out of it, squeezing it for all it's worth? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can show you ways to do that with their free Social Security report. It's a great first step to learn how your Social Security benefits can play a role in your overall retirement income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration isn't able to give advice. Get your free Social Security report from Great Lakes Investment Advisors at greatlakesoffers.com/security. That's greatlakesoffers.com/security. Retirement planning. Tune in to Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
WSGW News Time 9:08. A pilot is okay after his plane crashed into. Police say a 72-year-old Kindy man was flying a small Cessna aircraft over Indian Fields Township when the plane began having engine trouble. The pilot was unable to make it to the Cairo airport to land and instead made an emergency landing on Graff Road. The plane touched down with too much force and crashed. Fortunately, the pilot suffered only minor injuries and refused treatment. The Federal Aviation Authority will conduct an investigation into that crash. Consumers Energy is in the process of expanding electric vehicle charging stations across the state. There are 24 locations within 250 miles to the north and south. Over the next 3 years, Consumers plans to have around 200 stations and more than 2,000 chargers at homes and businesses. The energy company has also partnered with 9 other energy companies across the U.S. to provide a long-range fast charging network, allowing an electric vehicle owner to make a trip from Mackinac City to the Colorado border. Not only is it growing at a rapid rate, Michigan's marijuana industry is bringing in a lot of tax revenue. Jason Scott reports.
A new study from the U.S. Drug Test Centers shows the state generated taxes for 2020 with $31 million.
So if we grew 3 times the amount that we were growing right now, we would be selling it overnight. I mean, we literally cannot keep it on our shelves.
Rob Nussbaum runs Farmington Hills-based Pinkana, which operates a 135,000 square foot cultivation and manufacturing facility in Pinconning, Michigan.
Anxiety and stress is a major, major problem in today's world, as you can imagine, with the pandemic and all the people, losing their jobs and all the things that come with that. Anxiety is a major, major problem. And one of the major effective uses of this product is for anxiety and stress.
Jason Scott, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partly sunny for today. Highs will top out near 42 degrees. Winds west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy to mostly clear. Lows drop to 26. Winds turn to the north 5 to 10. Wednesday, an abundance of sunshine. Highs head back to 42. Winds north-northwest. Wednesday night, clear to partly cloudy. Lows fall back to 27. Winds west-northwest 5 to 10. Looking at you Thursday, lots more sun. Highs head into the 50s. Then 60s are possible for highs by Friday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 34.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSG.
And a good morning to you. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential, commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-3900, as she sponsors our program. Open phones for this hour and next, whatever's on your mind, of course. As I've said many times, sometimes the first person in sets the tone for the entire hour. And the number to call is 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790-WSGW. That's an inside the state of Michigan number. If you're outside the state of Michigan, call 989-752-6111, which I think all of us are going to have to do in the very near future anyway. I think I read that we're going to have to start including the area code when we dial local phone numbers. That's been talked about for a long time. Apparently, it's coming to fruition. Number of things to talk about this morning. The Chauvin trial. There was a story about former President Bush surprised at everybody's reaction about his friendship with Michelle Obama. We'll have to talk a little bit about that. Talk about a recall effort on a law that would strip the governor of her executive authority powers in an emergency. The law she used until the Supreme Court struck it down. This would permanently eradicate the law. There is also, I understand, a recall effort against her, but we've not heard much about that lately. We will talk a little bit about immigration and also the use of language and things that we're not supposed to say anymore. You heard Charlie bring that up when it came to the conversation about marijuana, but we'll talk more about that. But we've got callers waiting, so we're going to get started this morning with first Errol in Saginaw. Good morning.
The light came on about 3 o'clock this morning through my hair. And I got a suggestion for a topic today to lighten it up a little bit, Art.
I'm listening.
Rabbits.
What?
Okay. We are going to remove the bunny that's on top of the Percy Bean.
I heard that.
Elevator.
I heard
and
that.
And now they're trying to think of a place to put it. I got 3 suggestions. I think they ought to put it on top of that the AT&T building that's down by James. If they can, they're going to have someone that's willing to do that. There, Second National Bank, probably is my 2 favorite places because it's kind of like the weather ball down in Flint. But I think it would be a great addition to Saginaw to have that on top of the AT&T building.
Well, I think it belongs somewhere.
To Tom?
I think it belongs somewhere.
Yes.
I knew that it wasn't going to get. I knew that it wasn't going to get relit on top of the elevators where it is now. And
Right.
I had conversations with a couple of people about that. I'll give you another suggestion, and one that might be easier to obtain. I don't know. How about on top of the fire training tower?
That's not high enough.
Okay, you want it high. You want it up there, huh?
I want it high so that when you're shooting down 675,
You can see it.
this rabbit, the same as you can see the weather ball down in Flint. But either Second National Bank downtown or the Bell Building that's sitting there at James and Washington.
Yeah.
I think it would be a wonderful addition to the.
Listen,
downtown area.
I do too. The question for those companies that own the buildings is liability and everything else, and I don't know how they feel about it. But I would agree with you that up on the AT&T building would be just the perfect place for it.
I got a suggestion on who might do it. Are you listening, Dr. Shaheen?
Well, actually, I think I understood in talking to some folks that there is a pot of money because they wanted to relight it with LEDs.
Right.
But the problem was the owner of the elevator that it's on, the grain elevator, was afraid of liability and things of that nature. There were some complications, so they never got to do it. But I think there is a pot of money there to work on it. So who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I do too. I was just tired of all the serious crap going on. I thought this would be a light topic for today, sir.
It's liable to get heavy. People probably have emotional value to it.
And it's been around a lot longer than I have been.
Listen,
You say a word, sir.
one of the first
I
things,
hope not
don't
much
have
like
to. One of the first things I saw when I came to Saginaw was that bunny sign.
Well, so did I.
It was the welcome sign, you know?
Yes.
So I agree with you. Listen, I would contribute to a cause that would move it someplace
So
where
would
it
I.
could be seen. All right, Errol.
Okay.
Good
talk
enough.
to you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. And let's head up to West Branch and talk to Terry this morning. Good morning, Terry.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
We're doing all right.
I've got a couple observations about these electric vehicles.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen that the range has been gotten better, right? It's been extended a little
Slowly
bit.
but surely, yes.
Right, but the problem is when you get to the end of that range, you have to stop and park the dang car and plug it in, right?
You do.
So anybody invented a battery pack like your cordless drill or something like that. If you're getting low on electricity, you whip into your local battery station and the attendant comes out with a battery pack like the size of a suitcase, and you pop your hood and he takes your old battery pack out and slides in a new battery pack and you're out of there in 5 minutes.
That'll be great when they get the batteries down to that size. Right now, the batteries are the size of the entire floor of the car. And
Oh, jeez. I didn't know that. But
yeah, it's not. They're not small. They're not small at all. Now, what you're going to find, Terry, that will work eventually, is you're going to find fast charge stations where you can charge up for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and then
you're going to find cars catching on fire and stuff.
well, you're always going to find that. I mean, listen, gasoline cars do that. So, you know, that gasoline cars do that all the time. So it's not unusual. Listen, there are sacrifices we make for everything. And I'm not here touting it. I'm just suggesting that that's going to be the wave of the future is going to be charging stations everywhere, just as available as gas stations are. You'll be able to plug in for 20 minutes and be on your way. And also at the same time, the range of batteries will expand.
Yep, it would be a change. You know what? I won't be around for that era.
Don't kid yourself. Part of it's here already.
We'll see.
Part of it's here already.
Yeah.
So,
All
right.
right, thanks, Art.
Good enough, Terry.
You
Thanks
have
for
a
the
good
call.
day.
You too. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And let's talk to John in Saginaw before we take a break. John, good morning.
Art, I wanted to give a little information to Terry here. What he's talking about exists on call it a pilot scale right now. I think it was in a California city. Might have been San Francisco, but I'm not sure. And it was specifically for drivers who had a certain type of electric automobile, and they were doing either Uber or Lyft. And this company has created like a little drive-in, all robotic, and it does remove a standardized battery pack from the bottom of your car and puts a fully charged one back in.
For how
And
much?
It's like a 10-minute process.
For how much?
I don't know the pricing. As I say, it was geared specifically. You had to have this exact vehicle, and
Yeah, made for
was
it.
mostly so you could keep driving as an Uber driver and not have to go sit somewhere and charge up for hours and hours.
Yeah. Well, with fast charging, you wouldn't have to. Fast charging now, you can buy cars. I've driven a couple of them recently. You know, for example, I think Audi and I think Volkswagen both have optional fast charging, where your normal charge, if you have a battery that's run down, may take you 6 to 8 hours to charge it up. Fast charging, you can do the same thing in about 20 minutes. It's an option. It's an expensive option, but it's an option.
And there again, this was an alternative. Even 20 minutes is a long time if it's a business. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they are working on what this gentleman's talking about, but in a very limited way right now is it available.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I realistically think for that to be functional nationwide, everywhere, the size of the battery is going to have to come down. I can't see them taking Tesla batteries out of the floor of the car and replacing them in 10 minutes. I think it's going to be, there are design questions. Obviously, this car's designed for it, whatever one it is.
Right.
So that limits it right off the bat. But if there's going to have to be a uniform standard if that's going to work. And
Yeah, this was something along the size of a large suitcase, at least, the picture. I
yeah,
saw.
well, the ones on the bottom of the cars now are much bigger than that.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll all be around to see it, maybe.
Probably.
Probably. All right, John. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. All right, that opens the lines for you. Electric cars, I'll tell you what, we'll talk a little more about it here in just a couple of minutes. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medication from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbs.com/seniorcare. We'll be back after these notes.
So, what do you think?
You nailed the custom cabinets.
And the countertop is perfect.
It makes the space.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery showroom and design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom cabinetry and a variety of countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dream space is just a phone call away. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
There are times when it's hard to ignore that you may have a gambling problem. Like when you're at the casino and you've withdrawn the maximum amount from your ATM.
Withdrawal denied.
When you can't leave the tables, yet you don't know how you're going to put food on the table.
Credit card denied.
When you can't seem to pump the brakes on gaming and then can't fill up your gas tank.
Transaction denied.
When you're so invested in gambling, you're not able to invest in your future. You're robbing yourself and those you love of a better life.
Approval denied.
Don't deny there's a problem or someone you love is struggling with a gambling problem. We can help you win your life back. For free confidential help, call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117 or visit michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. To flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses at Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Finding great candidates to trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, America is bracing as all eyes are on Minneapolis. But geez, it's 420. Can't everybody get high and just mellow out?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, an open phone edition. And John is in Freeland, so let's go to Freeland and talk to John this morning. John, good morning. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
There you go. Good morning, John. Good morning. Yes, we can now. Go ahead.
How are you guys this morning?
All right.
Good. Yeah, I just heard you guys talking about the electric car things, and I think it's a big, it's definitely a big step forward for the environment and stuff. But you know, I think the government needs to step in and mandate a like a universal either battery pack or definitely a charging cable. Because what happens if you go buy a Volkswagen like you were driving, and then you go to sell that one, and you buy an Audi which has a different charging cable, or they buy a Ford which has a different charging cable.
They don't. That's standard.
They're all.
The charging plug where you plug in is now standard. Yeah, it is standard. It's the same plug.
Even with like Tesla and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're the same plug. And they got to that one early. So that you can charge them. That's how these charging stations are going to work across the country. They're all going to have one plug. You know, if they had a million different plugs, it'd be impossible to keep up with it, but they don't. That much is standardized. But the battery packs, every company has its own battery pack. They're all developing their own battery systems, including General Motors.
Right, and I think that's a good thing and a bad thing, because if they make it proprietary, but one system's got better than everybody else, then you know
that's competition.
Right, and then another thing, you know, with NASCAR, I think the old adage, you know, race on Sunday, you know, you buy the cars on Monday. I think if NASCAR went electric, it would be a good push forward to get that technology that they're pumping all that money into to get onto the road.
I would not doubt that there will be initially an electric division of NASCAR. There is already electric Formula One racing. There has been for quite some time. NASCAR probably, I would guess, I don't know, but I'm guessing that they're probably looking at it. I'll tell you what, if you drive some of these cars, a friend of mine owns a Tesla. Tesla is one of the big ones. It scared the heck out of me. I mean, and I used to race cars when I was young. I'm used to speed. Speed doesn't bother me. I floored that thing, and I took my foot off the pedal within a second. It was so scary. I have never driven a car that accelerated that fast, and I've driven fast cars. And it really, really was unbelievable. And it's instantaneous. But obviously for NASCAR, range becomes an issue. Charging capability, quick charging capability becomes an issue. So these things I'm sure these things are being developed. And a lot of times, some of those things developed for racing find their way into our cars. So who knows?
Right. I mean, that's a lot of money being pumped into NASCAR and stuff with all the fans and everything else.
Absolutely.
That's a great way for technology to be developed.
I would agree. Absolutely. I think it would be an interesting time, because I think you're right. You see it on Sunday, you buy it on Monday.
Right. All right. Have a good one.
Hey, you too, John. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
So obviously, you know, electric cars stir the imagination. Now let's understand, there is nothing new about electric cars. The technology today is new, but the concept of electric cars goes back to the turn of the century. I know someone around here, David, who owns an electric car from, I don't know what year Dave's car is from, but it's like, in the first 10 years of the century, let's say. And it's a boxy little car and it's all electric. And, the idea of electric cars been around a long time. The technology of gasoline cars outstripped the technology of electric cars. They became easier to build, easier to sell, and fuel, and consequently, electric cars got left behind. Here we are 100 and some odd years later, and it's like, oh, wow, why didn't we think of this? Wow, what a concept. It's been around for a long, long time. And some of the things, the technology, you really begin to wonder where the technology is going to lead us. The technologies today, my wife and I were talking about this. We were driving somewhere yesterday and talking about this very thing. We talk about distracted driving and how it's not good for us. Obviously, it's dangerous. You shouldn't hold up your cell phone and be trying to text while you drive. Put aside the fact that it's illegal, it's dangerous. But what are they doing in cars today? They are providing us more and more screens, touch screens, voice activated, you name it. Are these not all distractions in some way? I'll give you an example. I mentioned that I drove a couple of electrics from Thalen. One of them I drove was the e-tron from Audi. Audi's dashboard is an amazing piece of technology because you have multiple screens in the new cars. The one I drove, it has, first of all, an all-digital electronic dashboard right in front of the driver. Then there is a big screen to the right of the driver. And below that is another big screen, which is all your air conditioning system, things of that nature. All your accessories are on that screen. The screen in front of the driver not only has a couple of standard gauges, but is your GPS in color photo GPS. You actually see the terrain. You don't just see a map. You see the terrain in front of you. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But I did find when I was driving that car, I wanted to look at that. And I had to tell myself, hey, keep your eyes on the road. But it was beautiful. It was like a motion picture in front of you as to where you're driving. I mean, you see the highway lines and all of that, but it's photorealism. You see you see buildings, you see everything. And that was just one of many. I've seen recently where the new Mercedes-Benz E-Types, their electric cars, are going to have a full width digital dashboard. From the driver's side all the way across to the passenger side is going to be one huge screen with multiple screens within the screen. At what point do we say enough is enough? I don't know. How much information do we need as drivers? Do we need a cockpit that looks like an airliner? Probably not. Although, I have to tell you, and I have to be honest about it, I love bells and whistles. The more, in days prior to all this electronics, the more switches and dials and gauges in the car, the more I liked it. I have always been that way. I like big, complicated dashboards. Now, today, you can get all of that, but it's all electronic. But how much is too much? Where is the end of it? I don't know. And then there's the autopilot. We're going to talk about that. They're investigating that crash in Houston, Texas that took 2 lives. More on that. We're going to take a break first and come back. And I want to tell you about electric cars. I want to tell you about the 2 I drove from Thalen, because they are phenomenal automobiles, and they are definitely the wave of the future. As a matter of fact, I started the commercial I've done by saying that I've seen the future and I'm driving it today. And that's the way I felt about it. These cars both came with mileage that was over 250-mile range. For driving around town, I had the Audi e-tron Sportback for 4 days, and I used about 140 miles, I think. When I took it back, there was still plenty of mileage left in it. I had the Volkswagen ID4, the SUV Volkswagen, the electric one. I had that for several days. When I took it back, I still had 140 miles left on it, and I drove them all over town. Great vehicles, comfortable vehicles, responsive vehicles, and they even have regeneration capability, so that when you take your foot off the accelerator, the motors slow you down, dynamic braking, if you will, and it regenerates electricity into the battery. On the Volkswagen, you could select it. You could put the car in drive, or you could put it in what was B position, and in B position, it regenerated and slowed you down to the point where you hardly used the brakes. That's how good it was. It was terrific to drive. I thoroughly enjoyed driving them. Absolutely enjoyed both of them. And in the case of the Volkswagen, at-home charging, and they both come with all kinds of charging cables. On the road, you can get DC fast charging at Electrify America LLC for 3 years, so it doesn't cost you anything. Public charging at over 17,000 public chargers nationwide. That's right now. That number is going to grow exponentially. And these cars come equipped with all kinds of driver assist features. Not autopilot, but driver assist features. There are all kinds of tax incentives. I think the current income tax incentive is like $7,500, plus other incentives. Stop in and talk to a Thalen representative today. If you have any interest in an electric vehicle, stop in and look at the Audis and look at the Volkswagen ID4. Thalen, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. They are experts in electric vehicles. They can give you all the information you need. Find out more online at thinkthalen.com. And we'll be back after these notes.
Woohoo! Hey, Stephen, what are you so excited about?
Well, Kelly, I just got great news. Our website, craneslnm.com, now has all of our in-stock appliances online.
That is great news.
It sure is. LG, GE, Speed Queen, Frigidaire, and more. And with our great delivery and financing options available, we can get people into the appliances they need now.
Wow, but what if someone can't get on the internet?
Down to our showroom and talk to any of our award-winning staff. Cranes L&M Appliance Center, 3260 Bay Road, where we work with you.
Bader & Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. Farm, Michigan. We offer replacement parts like filters, belts, and hoses for your equipment. You'll find them in-store and online at greentractors.com. With John Deere's Good, Better, Best parts program, combined with our trained parts pros, we can help you find the parts you need. Count on us to provide the service your equipment deserves in our 10 service shops or in the field. Let Bader & Sons Company show you why we have the service and the parts at the right price.
It's been a challenging year, and Consumers Energy knows asking for assistance isn't always easy.
Thank you for calling the Assistance Center. How can I help you?
Hi, I just got my most recent, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pay it. It's been a really challenging year, and I was just wondering if there's any help available.
If you need help with energy and other bills, call 211 or go to mi211.org.
I'm talking to attorney Jerry Wright about estate planning. Jerry, how would you suggest I do it and keep it simple?
Well, or very simple, depending upon what you want to do, but more importantly, when you do it. Let's figure out what you want.
Well, I just want to make sure my stuff gets to the people I love.
And that's simple enough. But when you have a lot of stuff like real estate, bank accounts, brokerage accounts, and IRAs, it can get more complicated. Whether planning is simple or complicated is less dependent upon what you want and much more dependent upon when you do it.
Explain what you mean about it's important when you do it.
Sure. For example, and understand the different options, it's relatively simple and far less expensive.
All right, what makes estate planning expensive?
When people do it without understanding, and then later on, they figure out that it's not what they really wanted, so they have to do it over. Understanding the options you have now while you're healthy is what enables you to keep it simple.
Thank you. Information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerryrifelawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
Your studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Lines open for you, 752-6111, toll free 866-790 WSGW. Talking about electric cars, we had a caller wonder what's going to happen to the batteries when you're done with them. How do you dispose of them? That's going to be an interesting question. I suspect that what's going to happen is that there's going to be a recycle program that, you know, if you own an electric car and its battery reaches the end of its life, and batteries tend to do that, you'll take it to your dealer. They'll replace the battery with a new one, and the old one will be recycled, and the parts that are usable will be used. That would be my guess. I don't have anything concrete to back that up, but to me, that would be the smart thing to do, and I think manufacturers are working on that. Those battery packs are not cheap right now. I mean, they're thousands of dollars, and I suspect there's a lot of usable material in those battery packs. So I would expect that manufacturers will want to recycle them. I would hope that's the case. Certainly don't want them in landfills. So let's hope that they move in that direction, if you will. As I mentioned yesterday, Tesla had a problem yesterday. One of their cars crashed. Police were saying there was nobody behind the wheel. The two occupants of the car were killed in the crash. One was found in the passenger seat and one in the back seat. Nobody behind the wheel. Now, according to Tesla, they pulled data from the car. Apparently, they have a way of getting data from the car. And they say that the autopilot was not turned on and that car was not updated with what they call FSD, which is full self-driving capability, which you have to buy extra to make your Tesla available for full self-driving. So there seems to be some confusion and conflict, because if it was not in self-driving mode and if it didn't have the FSD, how was it being driven? Don't know the answer to that. Don't know the answer to that. But it is, I think it demonstrates the fact that autonomy in cars, not semi-autonomy like we have now, but full autonomy, I don't think is in the immediate future. Electric cars will be here and more prevalent as time goes on, but the full self-driving features, I think, are down the road. Is it possible? Absolutely. Look at airliners today. If you're in the cockpit of a modern airliner, and this is not new, this goes back, I had the privilege of riding in a cockpit in a multi-engine jet, and it could land itself. You entered in all the coordinates in the computer. The plane followed the coordinates, made the altitude adjustments, set itself up on the glide slope, And other than the fact that no professional pilot's going to let it happen, the plane could have landed itself completely, start to finish. So do we have the capability of creating autonomous technology? Well, if we can put it in airplanes, we can put it in cars. Is it ready for us? No. Don't think so. Mike is in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. You kind of caught my interest when you were talking about the beam sign there, but anyway, that's not what I called in about. The other day, somebody had mentioned about mail carrier and hauling their little wheeled bag around, and I called in. I didn't want to talk because I had a meeting to get to, but I mentioned that it was invented here in Saginaw. Ralph Strobel, I don't know if you knew him or not.
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, he was our Saginaw historian. That guy was just absolutely fantastic. He got me interested in everything. But anyway, he had the patent on it because he was a rural mail carrier. And then, of course, he was a city mail carrier, and hauling that bag around. He said, "Man, that." So he came up with the idea for the wheeled bag, and he. And when he told me about that, I said, "You gotta be kidding me!" Because he's kind of he was just a not assuming type of a person. You didn't know much about. He didn't go brag about stuff, but he was certainly knowledgeable. But I was always proud of him for doing something like that.
Yeah, cool.
There's been a lot of stuff that's been invented inside.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And there was a lot of medical research here on heart stents.
Oh, sure. And well, you know that we have one of the I can't think of his name. For the Parkinson and Alzheimer's and stuff, the research being done. Dr. Salibi and they're just fantastic.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Got to take a break. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later, my friend.
You bet.
Stay
Take
safe.
care. Bye now. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Jim, I'm blown away at how many vehicles I see with the name Midland Ford on them. What's your secret?
There's no secret, just good old honest people doing what we love, making customers happy. Those customers tell their family and friends, and people look at our low prices on the internet. It's spreading like wildfire. That's why we get so many customers in and out of town.
Do you think you're selling more cars and trucks is because of Ford's current success?
We do have good quality product, but we also have a huge selection. Not just Ford products, we also have Chevy, Dodge, Volvo, Jeeps, and of course, those good old wood haulers.
What about financing, Jim? Do you have to put a certain % down to buy?
Absolutely not. We have finance options for everyone. People need not worry about that. They can depend on getting the best vehicles at the lowest prices with no gimmick.
You'll be amazed by the outstanding selection. You'll be astonished by the incredible low prices. Stop out and see for yourself why Midland Ford Lincoln is your savings store, or go to midlandford.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's tried to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
1-2, slang and a miss. Got him for strike 3. A fastball up in the zone. Matthew Boyd has 7 innings of one-run baseball.
The Tigers play tonight at 6:20 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. We're talking about electric cars and driving electric cars. And I haven't asked the question, but what would it take for you to buy an electric car? Now, let's assuming all things are equal. All right. By that, I mean the quality and capability of the vehicle is equal to a gas version of the vehicle, and the price is equal to the gas version of the vehicle. So I put two very capable vehicles side by side. One is gas powered, one is electric powered. Same price. Which one do you buy? What's it going to take to put you in an electric car? I think the question has multiple answers, and the reason I say that is, how do you drive? If you simply go to the store with your car and you go 5 miles here and 5 miles there and 10 miles here and 10 miles there, you're ready for an electric car, because with 250 or 300 miles range, you have no problem. If, however, you drive to Detroit every day, that might be a different story, because there you're pushing your luck. If you take long trips all the time, it's a different story. If you like going up north all the time, maybe a different story. So how you drive is going to depend on how you answer that question. So for me, and I've said this before, my answer is battery range. The higher the battery range, the more interested I get in the cars. I mean, if I were buying a car strictly around town, I'd have no problem buying an electric today. I've driven a couple of them, as I told you. I would have absolutely no problem driving any of them, as long as I was staying within a certain range of my house. Let's put it that way. I mean, driving back and forth to Midland, no problem. Up to Bay City, no problem. Things of that nature is no problem. Going to Detroit and back would be a problem. So for the person who stays close to home, electric cars are here, available, ready to use, and convenient. But for anyone else, maybe not so. So how long before you would consider an electric car? Would you ever consider an electric car? And what do you want out of that vehicle? What kind of features do you want that car to have? As I said, starting this conversation, I'd want to compare apples to apples. That is to say, I'd want that electric car to have a full range of features like the gasoline car does. The gasoline car has all kinds of driver assist options that I'd want the electric car to have those options. I'd want there to be comfort, obviously. I'd want there to be security. I'd want all the features that I have in a car today. In other words, I don't want to sacrifice the conveniences I have in an automobile. I want it to deliver all the things I want, except in electric mode rather than gas mode. So what's it going to take? Think about it. We'll talk about it again. And we'll have open phones next hour for you, too, here on the Art Lewis Show. We're going to take a pause, and then we will be back to close out this hour after these notes.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. Just call our customer service team for the help and information you need. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/seniorcare.
Take the wheel and let's go for a spin. Every Friday and Saturday in April at Saganing Eagles Landing. Our prize wheel is loaded with big-time winning, like premium play, complimentary meals and hotel stays, and bonus entries into the grand prize drawing on April 30th for a new Ford Mustang. And let's go for a spin. Only at Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Let your fun out. Visit saganing-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's tried to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/.
Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Basketball coach John Mosley is the star of the Netflix documentary Last Chance U.
There's nobody that cares about him. And when a guy was never heard somebody share what can help them beyond money, beyond having a good basketball game, what can help them beyond just the scholarship.
Don't miss our conversation with the inspiring coach John Mosley on the next Big Impact, Sunday night at 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Thanks for being with us this hour. Next hour, we'll have open phones. We'll also be chatting with Craig Goslin from the Saginaw Spirit, going to be calling in about 10:30. We'll chat with him for a few minutes. All of that ahead. But before we get there, we have news coming up. CBS with the national and international report. Ann Williams with the local report to bring you up to date on what's happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and Michigan. And I'll be back to talk to you right after the news. Stick around. We'll talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
As the eyes of a nation are on 12 men and women deciding the fate of a former police officer charged with murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Correspondent Steve Futterman.
Deliberations are underway today here in Minneapolis. So far, we are not aware of any contact made by the jury with the court. That would normally only come if the jury has a question or has reached a verdict. When the jury might come back with a decision is the great guessing game here. To find Derek Chauvin guilty on any of the 3 counts, the verdict must be unanimous.
Security has been tightened in Minneapolis and across the country. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
So far, we have not had any information or intelligence that would lead us to believe that there's anything going to.
Police chief in San Antonio, like many, is making plans. Florida's governor has signed a bill that would punish anyone involved in violent protests. In the nation's capital, 250 National Guard personnel are being activated to assist local law enforcement. Members of the Guard will also deploy to Chicago and other cities. A World Health Organization committee makes a recommendation on requiring vaccine cards for international travelers.
Everyone should have a proof of vaccination, as it is the case for any immunization. People should know and should have a registered evidence of being vaccinated against any disease.
But Tarek Jasarevic says they shouldn't be required to show because vaccines aren't available everywhere in the world. Federal officials may cut levels of the substance in cigarettes that get you hooked. CBS's Wendy Gillette.
The White House is considering a proposal to lower nicotine in cigarettes to non-addictive or minimally addictive levels, according to the Wall Street Journal. The administration is already looking at possibly banning menthol cigarettes. Altering nicotine levels would be aimed at pushing smokers to quit or switch to a less harmful alternative.
NASA and SpaceX say weather could be the wild card in Thursday's planned SpaceX Crew Dragon launch. Program manager Steve Stitch.
We have to have Also, abort weather all along the abort ground track to protect the crew in the vehicle. So we were looking at both Thursday and Friday and looking at the weather over the next few days.
From Africa.
Le maréchal du Tchad, président de la République.
The announcement in Chad, President Idris Deby Itno has died from wounds he suffered on the battlefield fighting rebels. Just hours earlier, he was declared the winner of the recent presidential election, which would have added 6 years to the more than 30 he'd already served. The Dow is down 95 points in early trading, S&P off 6. This is CBS News.
When you're of time. So instead of waiting for people to see your sponsored post, invite them to apply. More at Indeed.com/credits.
Wearing a mask is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all get the COVID-19 vaccine and build community immunity, which will take time, we all be careful. Because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, and social distance. One day in the near future, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
36 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ed Williams. The U.S. Postal Service is looking for carrier assistance. Several postal locations throughout mid-Michigan are accepting applications. Applicants must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident alien at 18 years old, have a valid driver's license, at least 2 years of driving experience with a safe driving record, and be able to pass a background check, drug test, and medical assessment. The position requires employees to collect and deliver mail on motorized or walking routes. Starting pay is $17.29 an hour plus benefits. You can visit the post office website for more information and to start the application process. A Consumers Energy battery installation in Standish caught fire yesterday, prompting a shelter-in-place order for about 4 hours. The fire began around 3 p.m. at the location in the 400 block of Washington Street with sparks coming from a battery crate. The order was issued for a half-mile radius due to potentially toxic fumes from the lithium-ion batteries. Hazmat teams were brought in to assess the situation and determined there was no danger to the air. The shelter-in-place order was lifted about 7 p.m. No injuries were reported. Bay City commissioners have repealed another seemingly outdated ordinance. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
The ordinance in question pertains to bars and restaurants serving alcohol and hosting an available dance floor for patrons. Previously, these businesses had to register with the city for a providing police, fire, health department, and building inspector reports. Commission Vice President Chris Gerard says taking a look at older, possibly unneeded ordinances can help both residents and businesses, which in turn helps the city.
I think this is an old law from the 1970s.
I'm appreciative that we're looking at these things, some of these outdated ordinances as we go along.
Annually, the city took just shy of $2,200 from license renewals, with no fines or infractions listed for violators. Alongside the repeal, commissioners also received reports for repairs needed at City Hall and a proposal to Congressman Dan Kildee's office for funding from the American Jobs Plan for upgrades at the James Clements Airport. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time is 10:07.
Are you ready for new flooring but not sure you can afford it? Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Get new floors at a price you can afford with Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event. Save up to 30% on select products like Smart Strand and Everstrand carpet. Also choose from some of today's most popular laminate wood and luxury vinyl styles. During Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event, you'll get more floor at prices you can't beat. Warden Interiors in North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse in Bay City. You are going to get a $30 gift certificate to their Spring Festival for only $15. The Vino Wine Warehouse has over 1,000 retail wine items, 16 draft craft beers, and a full liquor section. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. In honor of National Foot Health Awareness Month, Mid-Michigan Health's wound treatment centers are collecting diabetic socks through May 9th. The socks will be given to patients with diabetes, helping them prevent diabetic ulcers. Diabetic socks are especially designed with breathable material and gentle seams and elastic to prevent pressure, blisters, and moisture buildup. They can be found at stores like Meijer, Walgreens, Walmart, or online. You're asked to donate only clean, new socks in their original packaging. If you'd like to donate, look for donation bins marked Knock Your Socks Off in the lobbies of Mid-Michigan Medical Centers and Wound Treatment Centers in Alma, Clare, Gratiot, Midland, and West Branch. You can also fill out a contest entry form at the drop-off locations for a chance to win a gift card. Consumers Energy is announcing it has now built the backbone for a fast charging network for electric vehicles across Michigan. Rob Mason reports.
Charging stations that allow emissions-free EVs to power up quickly are in place in 24. Over the next 3 years, Consumers Energy plans to help 200 fast charging locations and over 2,000 chargers at homes and businesses start powering EVs across the state. Consumers Energy launched its Power My Drive program less than 2 years ago. Since then, it's provided over 600 rebates for home, business, and public charging stations that make electric vehicle ownership convenient and affordable. Rob Mason, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. High of 43 today with occasional sun. Mainly cloudy early tonight, then gradual clearing. Will cool till down near 26. Remaining unseasonably cool on Wednesday, but a warm-up is on the way late during the week. Wednesday, sunny, high of 42, breezy winds. Wednesday night, clear to part. High of 54 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Thursday night, mainly clear, low near 38. High of 63 on Friday. Lots of sunshine. Friday night, becoming cloudy, a low of 42. There's a high of 59 Saturday with a chance of rain. I'm Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 35.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty a call at 989-295-3900. Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty, sponsor of the Art Lewis Show, and we thank her very much for that. We thank you for joining us. Open phones for most of this hour. I say most of this hour because we are expecting a call from Craig Goslin, the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, around 10:30 this morning. But before that and after that, we will have open phones, whatever's on your mind. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free, 866-790 WSGW. Inside the state of Michigan, if you're outside the state, call 989-752-6111. Just to finish up conversation from last hour about electric vehicles, you heard the story in the news. The last story that Ann had for us this morning was about consumers, fast charging and home charging stations, and how they are pushing ahead to have more and more of them installed for those that have electric vehicles. So as I said during the show, I said, they're here. The day is coming when we're all going to be looking at them and deciding whether we want to buy one or not. And the more charging stations that are put up, the more availability there is for electricity to power the car, the more attractive they're going to be. We'll see what happens. Don is in Saginaw, so let us go to Don this morning. Hi, Don. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. How you doing?
Doing all right.
I don't know if you mentioned this. I just heard the end of your
start
of your broadcast. It was about this Tesla crash in Houston with two guys in it. Nobody was driving. Went through a curve, went straight through it, hit a tree, exploded. Fire department couldn't put the fire out. They had to call Tesla.
Yeah, the lithium-ion batteries kept reigniting. Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's crazy.
There is some controversy about it. Not simply the self-driving feature, because according to Tesla, A, they say the data shows the car was not in self-driving mode, and B, the car was not equipped with what they call FSD, which is the upgrade that's full self-driving. So there seems to be some controversy as to who was driving and how the car was moving. Who knows? I mean, the investigation is going to go on. The government, National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, is sending investigators down to take a look at it. But it raises questions, no doubt about it. And the biggest one, if you get in an accident like that and you have a battery fire, how do you contain it?
Yeah, really.
So, I mean,
the fire department was adamant. They said no one was driving.
Well, they were. That's because of the body positions. One person was found in the passenger seat, and one person was found in the back seat. Nobody was found in the driver's seat. Now, could the person in the front seat have slid over during the accident? I don't know. If Tesla is correct that the car was not in self-driving mode, how was it driving? Who was moving it? I don't know that either.
Driving pretty good.
Huh?
Yeah.
So there's lots of questions about that accident, and who knows what the answers are. We're sitting here, I have no idea. We only know what we're told.
All I know, Art, is I'm not getting in one, and my hands are still cold from playing golf yesterday, man. First 9 was okay, but that second 9 we got drizzle, and the temperature dropped about 10 degrees, and we finished.
Yeah.
But
I just have to ask you this, Don. I got to ask you this about cars, Don.
Yeah.
You know that the gasoline power cars are not any safer than the electric cars. You can get killed in a gas car same way you can get killed in an electric car. It's all So, I mean, it's, the time's going to come where we're all going to make a decision whether we want one or not. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The time is also going to come where they're going to make it so attractive as to shove it down our throats that we're not going to have a choice and we're going to buy an electric car. Because I think eventually down the road, probably long after I'm gone, they will phase out gas power. And then you won't have a choice. Until the used car market dries up. Then you won't have a choice.
We have to have something that can produce more electricity than we now.
Well, that's true. I mean, because the electric companies are going to have to make sure we have enough electricity to cover it. No doubt about it.
And the only thing, it ain't going to be it ain't going to be solar. It ain't going to be wind. It's going to be nuclear. That's the only.
Well, that should. I think that should be
really.
part of the mix. I definitely think that should be
Yeah.
part of the mix. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough, Don.
All right.
Appreciate it. Take
Take
care.
care, man.
That
Bye.
was Don in Saginaw. Now we go to Don in Bay City. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Morning to you.
Yeah, what's up?
I am driving currently a electric EV,
What are you driving?
and I'm driving a Mitsubishi Outlander GT.
Is it full electric or a hybrid?
It's a hybrid.
Okay.
And it's a
Different.
PHEV. And
Yeah.
I was told years ago by a guy that was working on these. This is back in the 90s. I'm an IT guy. You and I have met many times. I've actually set you up at Saginaw Business Expo for
Okay.
years with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But what I decided was years ago, there was a company called Compact Computer. You all remember?
Yeah.
And his brother-in-law was tasked with an electric vehicle at the time. That was back in the 90s. So they threw together. They took some Saturns and some E-Class Mercedes, and they put electric motors in them.
Yeah, I
and they
kind of
built a generator
remember
on
that.
top of them, so that it would run strictly on gas and a generator and no batteries at the time. And he said that if they were to reinvent the engine at that time, that's what you would come up with, because there's no batteries that have that real long longevity that can be charged fast enough
Right.
to make it practical.
Basically, what they
So they were
created.
getting 1,000 miles to the tank of gas.
Yeah, but what they created basically was the automobile version of the railroad locomotive, because the railroad locomotive is a generator which generates electricity to the drive motors. And basically that's what they did. They took a philosophy that's been around for decades and put it in the automobile. And I'd like to point out, you're driving a hybrid. You're driving a hybrid, which means your car also has gas power, not just electric power, right?
Exactly.
And to
Let me
me,
give you an example
that's
of
the
that.
ideal answer to me.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. Let me give you an example. I just got this. I'm a heavy driver. I'm my business. I'm at 2,058 miles right now, and I've only put 3 tanks of gas in my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
They're 11.1 gallons. It's an 11.1 gallon tank. I can go. I'm averaging 30 to 35 miles per gallon on the highway in an full size SUV. I had a Mitsubishi GT that I bought at Showcase Mitsubishi before this. It was a 275 horsepower GT.
Yep.
Same size, looks just like it. And I was probably 2 tanks of gas a week on that.
Yeah.
And that was a 20 gallon.
Well, let me ask you this.
It gives you an idea how much I'm saving.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Because you have 2 modes, how much range do you get in full electric before that generator kicks in?
I can go about 28 miles to the charge, which gets me back and forth to my main customer in Saginaw. So I
Okay.
drive from Bay City to Saginaw.
Right.
And my customer in Saginaw has a charging station, and I have a charging station at home.
So you
I
could
run
charge
about
in both
87%
places.
electricity.
Yeah.
Yep. And
See, and
I know my neighbor she has an electric vehicle too. She works for Dow, and they have a charging station.
See, I think
She charges at home.
I think the hybrid is a great answer. And what is it? A little 3-cylinder? How big is the engine?
It's a 4-cylinder engine.
Okay.
It's a generator. It has no
Right.
more than a generator in your car.
Right.
And basically, the generator, if you get up over a certain amount of energy requirement, then your motor will kick in.
Right.
Other than that, if you just drive normal, I go and it's like it sounds like a spaceship. You just go. You're quiet
Until
I'm driving right now.
until you reach the end of the battery. Until you reach the end of the
Yeah, once
battery,
you reach the end of the
then it
battery,
kicks in.
Then the motor kicks in.
And that's I love it. See, I love it. That's what I love. I always thought the Chevy Volt was ahead of his time that way, because that's what that was.
It was, yeah.
Same thing.
Well, and
You didn't have the range. That was the
people don't
problem.
know- Well, you know what people don't know either is a lot of companies no longer only allotted so much money for rebates. So, like Chevy, I think ran out of their rebate money until they get more. I don't know how that works, but I know there's like Mitsubishi still has the rebate money available, but they can't keep their PHEVs in stock. They're going through them.
Yeah.
And the whole 2021 year wasn't even made.
Well,
so I had to get a 2020, and now they're coming out for 2022.
There is a
And they
federal
only go to 2021.
there is a federal tax credit of I think $750, and then there are different incentives depending on the company you're buying from.
Yeah,
So you have to check with
my
the dealers.
incentives on this one was $8,350.
Yeah,
So I was like,
that
"Oh,
helps,
that's
doesn't
an
it?
incentive."
That does help, doesn't it?
And then Mitsubishi gave me a $1,500 loyalty on top of that, and then there's such a lax amount of used cars. They gave me $500 over my Blue Book to trade in my vehicle. So I was like on cloud 9 when I got this thing. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you saved a ton of money. And no problems? You're satisfied with it?
So far, so good. You know, the only thing I would say is I don't like is it's a small gas tank. It's only 11.1
Right.
gallons. So when we go on trips up north,
You got to
I
stop.
can get all the way up there on a quarter of a tank, but after I drive around a bit, if I don't have the battery charging, then I'll drive from here to Florida. You would go probably the same amount as a car, but you might get a little bit less because of, at 35 miles per gallon.
Right, sure.
You'll do pretty good, but you'll
Sure.
might stop more for gas.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think.
All right. Good enough. Hey, listen, I appreciate the
If
info.
you drive back and forth to just work in Midland or Bay City or Saginaw or whatever,
They're
get
ideal.
one because
Yeah.
you will save so much. Oh, and I put a meter on my charger at home. I have a 35 amp charger, and to charge this every single day is about 88 cents. So it's not much.
That's
at all.
not too bad. All right. Good enough. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye now. And there's a satisfied owner. We love it. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790. WSGW inside the state of Michigan, 989-752-6111. Outside the state of Michigan, as we continue talking about electric cars and anything else you want to talk about too, give us a call this morning. In a few minutes, we're going to chat with Craig Goslin from the Saginaw Spirit. But before we get to that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after these notes.
There are times when it's hard to ignore that you may have a gambling problem. Like when you're at the casino, maximum amount from your ATM.
Withdrawal denied.
Tables, yet you don't know how you're going to put food on the table.
Credit card denied.
When you can't seem to pump the brakes on gaming and then can't fill up your gas tank.
Transaction denied.
When you're so invested in gambling, you're not able to invest in your future. You're robbing yourself and those you love of a better life.
Approval denied.
Don't deny there's a problem any longer. If you or someone you love is struggling with a gambling problem, we can help you win your life back. For free, confidential Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. gov/problem gambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Jim Wilson, are customers surprised to find such a big selection of used vehicles here at Midland Ford Lincoln?
I've had many people tell me this is the best selection of used cars and trucks they've seen in Michigan. Not just quantity, but in the quality of our vehicles.
You seem to have the cars and trucks everyone is looking. Models you'd expect to find only in classified ads by private parties.
Our volume sales means customers always have a bigger selection of better quality cars. Our minimum pricing policy, customers always pay less.
But better doesn't mean more expensive. You have cars and trucks in every price and payment range, even for the tightest budgets.
From inexpensive basic transportation to late model luxury and a great selection of trucks, we have what you're looking for. We currently have more tough Ford trucks and used Escapes and Explorers than we've ever had in our history.
America's falling in love with Ford, and you have a personal invitation to find out why today at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store, or go to
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Lower, though investors are looking at mostly upbeat earnings news from corporate America. Johnson & Johnson's quarter top forecasts its medical devices business is bouncing back, and it expects news on its COVID-19 vaccine later this week. Kansas City Southern shares are rallying after Canadian National Railway offered to buy the company, topping an earlier bid from Canadian Pacific Railway. PayPal's Venmo is launching a new service for cryptocurrency to buy, sell, and hold cryptos for as little as a action. Cannabis stocks are rallying, helped by the House voting in favor of a bill to protect banks that do companies. And Morningstar Farms is launching a plant-based version of chicken tenders this month. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Finally, spring has arrived, and so have all new Untuckit styles. Check out our new wrinkle-free shirts that every guy needs as the weather warms up. And don't forget our famous polos, the official shirts of spring. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked and will look great as we get back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, and yes, even heading back to the office. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn. Take 20 for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter. That's AUDACY.
How clean is your nose? Most airborne germs and allergens invade through the nose, your body's air filter. It's first line of defense. You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? Did you know there's an easy way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself? It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to clean your nose and mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and it comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. And online reviews averaging 4.7 stars show just how much people love their Navage. You wash your hands and brush your teeth every day. Now you can clean your nose and help protect your health with Navage. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and Kathy is in Saginaw. Kathy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. I'm actually former now Commissioner Kathy Dwan.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Yeah, you moved.
Hi. I moved. Yeah, I had the opportunity to sell my home and downsize, which was important to my husband and myself after 25 years.
Well, that selling your home now is a good thing because it's a seller's market.
It's a seller's market. You're absolutely right. And we were able to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to secure a residency in my district, District 1. I followed the law, which says I must resign. Today's the day that the Board of Commissioners actually will be making an appointment to fill my position. And I just thought I'd call with a shout out to anyone out there in District 1. It's not too late to call the board office or send an email to the chair, Carl Ruth, and any of the commissioners. Everyone's email is on the page. Let your voice be heard of whether you are hoping that they will fill my position with a Republican. I would like to add one thing, Art, that in the history of District 1 and the history of formerly District 5 before redistricting, this community has never elected a Democrat. And so I've actually expressed my wishes to the board, hoping that they do the morally right thing for the constituents that live here and fill my position for the next 19 months with a Republican. And then in 2022, after redistricting, let anybody that wants to run for the people.
What made you run for office?
Well, in 2015, actually, there was a school bond put forth in Tittabawassee Township that I opposed. I mounted a campaign against that to raise awareness for the voters who no one knew it was going to be a special election in November unless they read a little paragraph. So I went door to door just to let people know what was going on. And then the next year after that, when just retire, I had several people encourage me to run for his seat based on my history of being an activist. They liked what I said and liked what I did. And so I did have a primary at that time with another Republican who was a lifelong resident of Tittabawassee Township. At any rate, we had a primary and we know the results of that. So here I am.
So now that you've moved, is your voice silenced in politics, or are we going to hear from you again?
My father, Art, and I'd have a voice in politics, but because of how I grew up, but I matured and grew up and realized it's important for everyone to have a voice in politics. So I'm sure you'll hear from me at some point somewhere. I can't just give it up. I'm passionate about I'm passionate about the country. I'm passionate about the Constitution. I'm passionate about civil rights and freedom and good governance and small governance. So I'll probably be loud.
I love the way you put it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you letting me speak this morning. I'm sorry I didn't call in yesterday, give people more time. But yeah, today's the day. It is at 3 o'clock. There is a Zoom meeting, and it is a public meeting. Anyone that wants to Zoom in and watch or listen is welcome. So I know I'll be on the call.
Do they have a list?
Information.
Do they already have a list of candidates?
There are 6 candidates.
Oh, there are. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there are 6 candidates. And actually, Art, Pat Wurzel, 22-year commissioner, has put his name forth saying he would not run in 2022, that he would just be happy to fill my term, knowing the job, and then walk away again and let the chips fall where they may in 2022. Like I said, let people work for the seat.
Are all
And,
all 6 candidates Republicans or not?
I do not know the answer to that. There are 2 that I do not know, and there is a third one that I know, but I don't know her party affiliation.
Yeah. All right.
So two for sure are Republican. I'm not sure about the other 3.
All right. Be interesting.
So we'll find out at 3 o'clock today. Yeah. Anyone that's interested could call Susie Kuppinger or call the board office and ask for the call in, the Zoom information. You know how to call in, what the number is. Everyone's welcome.
Very good. Kathy, we wish you well.
Well, thank you, Art. Thanks for chatting, and
Sure.
hope to see you sometime in the future.
Yeah. Talk to you down the road.
All right.
Don't be shy.
Thanks.
Call in.
Thanks.
All
And
righty.
thanks for what you do.
Take
All right.
care. Bye-bye now.
Bye, Art.
Kathy Dwan, former commissioner of the 1st District, but because of a change in housing, moved out of the district, had to forego her seat, which will be, as she mentioned, filled today by the Saginaw County Commissioners at 3 o'clock. There you go. We're going to take a break, and when we return, hopefully we will have Craig Goslin on the line to chat with us. All of that is ahead here on the Art Lewis Show. More coming up.
I want to tell you about a great opportunity for seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is holding free virtual Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday via Zoom. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly and would like to give Tai Chi and all of its health benefits a try, give Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes will be virtual until social distancing requirements can be relaxed. If interested, call Carol at 989-790-3289 for more information. That's 790-3289. RSVP is required for Zoom login information. For free virtual Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
It's official. The 35th annual Freeland Walleye Festival is back, April 23rd through 20. One safe will be the top priority this year, and some activities will be different or not held. This year's festival includes the community-wide garage sales, the Walleye Festival fishing tournament, Midway Carnival rides, the United Financial 5K and 10K run walk, the annual car show, and a disc golf tournament. Go to FreelandWalleyeFestival.com for tournament entry forms and for event information, or find them on Facebook. The Freeland Walleye Festival.
Attention timeshare owners. Getting out of your timeshare can feel like a battle. All you want is to save some money, reduce your stress, and stop paying for something you aren't even using. But the process can be daunting, frustrating, and confusing. But it doesn't have to be. You get access to an exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. This secret weapon is something only Newton Group offers and was developed to help timeshare owners just like you save thousands of dollars and regain control of their finances. And this secret weapon is a key part of why we have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 4.7 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and a proven track record to legally relieve you from the financial burden of your timeshare. If you want out of your timeshare, visit besttimeshareexit.com to learn more about this exclusive secret weapon to get out of your your timeshare. Go to besttimeshareexit.com or call 877-TOP-EXIT. That's besttimeshareexit.com to get you out of your timeshare. Airexit.com now or call 877-TOP-EXIT.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll. Rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn and protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-3900 for Pinnacle Realty. I am holding in my hand a press release from the Ontario Hockey League, but I don't want to read it. So instead, with us this morning is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. We say good morning to Craig Goslin. Craig, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Art. I wish I had meant that it was a good morning.
Yeah. I'm holding this OHL media release that the OHL and your team sent out. So why don't you give us the headline, if you will?
Well, unlike any of the rest of us in this world, we all continue to struggle in Ontario, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, where our teams are located with COVID-19 and the variants. And there's not one of us that could have anticipated the last 14 months. I think you agree to that. And,
yep.
And we've all, the league, the effect that this has had on our league and our players, particularly, and our coaches, the teams, the fans, the sponsors, the billets, our season ticket holders, etc. We wanted to do all we could to say yes to our return to play for the sake of our players, unless it became absolutely necessary that we say no. And our efforts have always been about the players and finding a way to get them to play if there was one. Well, today was decision day, and I led the Board of Governors through a vote, and it was voted unanimously that we cancel the 20 and focus our efforts on starting the 21-22 season on time, which is not an assurance either under these COVID conditions that we're under here. So we've done that. We're going to move forward, and it's crushing. It's crushing for our players, for all of us that work in this business, because you look at the eyes in the eyes of these young men that have worked so hard to try to be NHL players. It's the best development league in the world for a reason, and we have the most talented young men in the game that come through Saginaw and Flint and through our region, and it's really crushing to look into their eyes and say, guys, we can't play this year.
Let me ask Craig, because we have Saginaw, Flint, and Erie in the United States, but a lot of this has to do with Ontario, doesn't it? I mean, it has been very difficult to deal there right now.
Yeah, good question, Art. Actually, we decided quite some time ago, really back in November, that it was all for one and one for all. We're one league, even though there's 3 teams in the U.S. and 17 in Ontario. We were not going to have the U.S. teams go off on their own and play because there's a number of reasons, but the main one is that 85% of our rosters of those 3 teams, the kids are from Ontario. So for the purposes of them coming here, being away from their families can't come watch them play. A number of different reasons beyond that as well, in terms of health protocols and the law. Right? So if the families come over here, they can't get back. We can't get over there. it just wasn't possible. And right now the hospital, ICUs and the hospital capacities in Ontario are being stretched beyond their limits, and they are here in Michigan and in Pennsylvania as well. So it would have been irresponsible to try to force anything upon our governments to say, hey, listen, you got to do what you can to get us to return to play. It's just not, life is about a lot more than hockey. Nobody wants to hear that, particularly at this time. But there's a lot bigger things in life than our hockey league, and we want to be part of the recovery process. And some of the times these tough decisions have to be made, and today we made one.
Let me ask Craig, because the OHL is part of the Canadian Hockey League, and there are other divisions. There's the Quebec Major Juniors and the Western Hockey League. Are they playing, or are they also down?
Well, no, they're playing. If you talk to a number of them, they wish they hadn't tried, but they are playing. We've had a number of teams. We had one of our teams in Quebec just had 22 players come down with COVID. So I mean, it's. But they are playing. We're playing with a different playbook in Ontario than they are in other parts of Canada.
Right.
And there's no doubt about that. You look at the Raptors in the NBA. They're still playing in Florida. Their home games are. The Toronto Blue Jays, Major League Baseball, their home games are in Florida. So we are playing with a different playbook with the province of Ontario, and you know what? And to their defense, they are all about safety, and you can't argue that at all with what's happened with this variant. And they've done a great job of supporting the league and supporting all of us. I'm the chairman of the board, so I deal with them, and they've been just outstanding to work with and trying to do all they could to get us to return to play. It wasn't their fault. There's no blame here but the virus, and we're not pointing fingers at anybody here. We just feel really bad for our players.
So let's talk about the organization, the Saginaw Spirit organization. How is it surviving this?
Well, we're hemorrhaging cash, that's for sure. This has not been a good time for the financials for sure. But the great thing is that Mr. Garber has made a commitment to us, and he's an outstanding owner, and he loves this community, and the Dow Event Center and ASM Global, we're all in this together. And we look forward to being a vital ingredient of the recovery process of our community after this variant gets under control. We've got to have leadership in our community, and the Dow Event Center has always been our community gathering place. And right now we're being told not to gather, so and rightfully so. And so you know what, we if you hope that everybody takes this as serious can be, and follow all the protocols until we can get this behind us. Because you know what, we just lost our hockey season. And people have lost a lot of things this year that they couldn't do. They couldn't go to birthday parties and gatherings because of this thing. So, we just hope that everybody continues to be diligent. And even though if you're vaccinated, just listen to what the experts are telling us, so we can go back to life again and do the things that we all want to do.
Are there vaccinations taking place in Ontario?
Well, that's another issue. The Premier of Ontario, unfortunately, ordered their vaccinations from, and that is actually the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, not the Premier. That's the Prime Minister is David Trudeau, and he and his staff ordered their vaccines from China, for goodness sakes, and they don't work, and so they were last on the list to get the vaccines into Canada, and so they're having challenges right now. What they're doing in Canada is they're giving those that are, I think it's 60 and over now, can get it. And don't quote me on that. It may be more than that. It may be younger than that now. But they can get the first shot of the Pfizer and the Moderna, and the second shot doesn't come for 4 or 5 months later. So they're 80% inoculated, and then because that's what they've got to do in order to make the amount of vaccines they've got from Moderna and from Pfizer to last.
Can you hang on for one more segment?
Sure. Yeah, I sure will.
We'll take a quick break. Talking to Craig Goslin, President Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, announcing today that the OHL has announced an end of return to play for the 2021 season. We'll be back after these notes.
Jim, I'm blown away at how many vehicles I see with the name Midland Ford on them. What's your secret?
There's no secret. Just good old honest people doing what we love, making customers tell their family and friends, and people look at our low prices on the internet. It's spreading like wildfire. That's why we get so many customers in and out of town.
Do you think you're selling more cars and trucks is because of Ford's current success?
We do have good quality product, but we also have a huge selection. Not just Ford products, we also have Chevy, Dodge, Volvo, Jeeps, and of course, those good old wood haulers.
What about financing, Jim? Do you have to put a certain percent down to buy at Midland Ford Lincoln?
Absolutely not. We have finance options for everyone. People need not worry about that. They can depend on getting the best vehicles at the lowest prices with no gimmick.
You'll be astonished by the incredible low prices. Stop out and see for yourself why Midland Ford Lincoln is your savings store, or go to midlandford.com.
Woohoo! Hey, Stephen, what are you so excited about?
Well, Kelly, I just got great news. Our website, craneslnm.com, now has all of our in-stock appliances online.
That is great news.
It sure is. It shows all our brands like LG, GE, Speed Queen, Frigidaire, and more. And with our great delivery and financing options available, we can get people into the appliances they need now.
Wow, but what if someone can't get on the internet?
Not a problem. They can come down to our showroom and talk to any of our award-winning staff. Cranes L&M Appliance Center, 3260 Bay Road, where we work with you.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's time to find a credit union home, excited about working together with you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number, who answer your questions before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities, flexible about changing and growing right alongside you, trustworthy like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community If you're an individual or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. You belong here. Together. Let's do this. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com. Quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW Candelario.
Line drive, base hit into right field. Into score comes Scope. Goodrum right behind him, and he will score without a throw. 2 out, 2-run single. Jamer Candelario, and the Tigers now lead at 5-0 in the fourth.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by DCECU.
Bader and Sons, your John Deere dealer.
Lingle Equipment Company. All season long, Detroit Tigers baseball is on 790 News Radio WSG.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show, where we're talking to Craig Goslin, President, Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. So, Craig, I have to ask, I mean, in this downtime when we didn't have hockey, what have the players been doing? How are they keeping in shape? Are they being scouted at all? Because, I mean, there's a lot of careers online here.
Yeah, and that's the sadness of all this. First off, they are all in excellent condition. These kids have worked hard in the off season to keep themselves in impeccable percentages. Are down under 5% for most of the kids, and it's just incredible the condition that these kids are in. They're prepared to play, and the valuation for the NHL has not been there for the draft eligibles, which is a 2003 class. And then, quite frankly, we always have 1 or 2 players every year that go undrafted that end up signing NHL contracts, as you know, because they mature at a later date, a lot of these players, when they're 18, 19, and 20. Right. So they all lost their opportunity to do that this year. That's the tragedy here. That's why we've worked so hard to try to get these kids back on the ice, even if it was without fans, so the NHL teams could come in and evaluate and at the Dark Credit Union in front. And that's been our focus, is to try to get these kids back on the ice so they can be evaluated. And unfortunately, we couldn't get that done. And so we're still looking at ways that we potentially get them on the ice for evaluation for the NHL. And if not, like Jimmy Devellano told me this morning, that hey, listen, if they're good enough to be NHL players, they'll find their way. The cream will rise to the top, And as we play next year, these kids that may not have gotten evaluated this year will get evaluated next year. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
It's tough to tell a young man that's worked his tail off for his draft year. But unfortunately, that's the harsh reality of today's environment.
Given the fact that the NHL will probably still have to have a draft of some kind, has there been any thought to like a hockey Columbine like they do in football, where all these players come in and show off their stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at doing something in Edmonton for the CHL top prospects. So that's the thing. We've got that'll only be 40 players though, and certainly we'll be looking at other ways that we can get these kids out in front of the NHL for the draft. The draft is going to be July 23rd and 24th this year. The NHL did move it back a month for us. I requested that we move it back a full year, and the NHLPA didn't agree to that. But that was my proposal. I went all the way up to the ladder, got approved by everybody, and then the NHLPA got involved and said no, because they didn't like the fact that at the same time. The 03s and 04s will be coming at the same time, and that could potentially push out a number of veterans on the back end of their contract. So they didn't like that, so that got squashed. And so now we're back to, at least they pushed it back a month. So we got a little bit of time here to get the word out on the kids that are draft eligible.
Is there any scouting going on? Is anybody playing anywhere? I would imagine Ontario, the answer is probably no, but we scout all over the place. Is there scouting going on?
Yeah, we got our whole scouting staff has been engaged in as best they can, but the kids aren't playing right now in Ontario, obviously, and so we've done all we could to scout the U.S. team. So has been extremely engaged with the U.S. teams, and so we're prepared. We are. Dave Drinkle and his staff. One thing about our general manager, Dave Drinkle, he's he's a tireless worker. He's got a reputation as being one of the best talent evaluators in our game. That's why our team has risen to the top. And right now, the Saginaw Spear is recognized as one of the premier franchises for development in all of the CHL, and that's something to be said for not just Mr. Garber and what he's provided for all of us in terms of resources, but also Dave Drinkle and his staff and how they've attracted top players. And he's done an incredible job. So he just knows what he's doing. He's got a great eye for talent. And yes, we're prepared for the draft that's going to be coming up here in June. We're going to do our draft in June, and then the NHL draft will be in July.
Coach Lazar, been involved too?
Laz is an amazing coach. He's got that talent of being able to hold the players accountable, but also be their friend, which you have to do in today's world. And in today's world, dealing with this X generation, that is I guess a vital skill set to be able to hold them accountable. But you know what? Put your arm around them, tell them you love them. And Laz is quite frankly, he's the best that I've never seen anybody like. The guys they fear Laz, but boy, do they love Laz.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so successful. Of course, he's a great hockey mind. He knows the game. He knows his style of play is not to dump the puck. You've seen it. His style of play is to go. He wants the guys to make plays. He wants the defenseman to skate the puck out of the zone and get it up to a forward who can take it forward and don't dump the puck into the zone, but skate it in and make a play.
Yep.
And that's what he's taught our guys. And that's why the players want to come here. All the skilled players say, hey, I want to play like that. So Chris Lazary, I hope we can keep him for a few more years, because there's a lot of teams in the NHL that have already been, keeping their eye on.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the short list of potential guys that may be moving up that direction. So, happy for him.
All right. Well, Craig, I wish you were better news, but we thank you for sharing it with us this morning. Again, for those that didn't hear, the OHL has announced an end to return to play for the 2021 season, effectively canceling the season. Let's move on to the 21-22 season and hope for better things, Craig.
Yeah, our best days ahead, and as I said, we look forward to being part of us with John Block and ASM Global and the Dow Event Center being a vital ingredient to the recovery process of our community after this variant has been taken under control here.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, sir.
Good to hear from you. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Craig Goslin, President Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. They will be holding a press conference at 11:30 this morning at the store, but I appreciate his time this morning to give us kind of an advanced look at this. We will pause and then be back to close out. Let me ask how your sleep was last night. Today's workers are asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Fun.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show today, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. We thank her for her sponsorship. We thank you for joining us. Coming up, Focus, we're going to talk to Rachel Trumbull from the SVRC Marketplace. Before that, we'll have news. It'll be news from CBS, the local report with Ann Williams, up to date on everything in the Great Lakes Bay region. I'll be back to talk to you on Focus right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. A Minneapolis jury is at work on the Derek Chauvin murder case. Here's CBS's Steve Futterman.
This is the first full day of deliberations. The jury around 2 hours ago. Yesterday, the jurors met for around 4 hours. They are holding their deliberations at the courthouse. Once they reach a verdict, they will contact the court. When that will be is really anyone's guess. Any verdict must be unanimous. As the city and the nation await, security here in Minneapolis has been amped up. Here's CBS's Jeff Pegues.
The governor declared a public safety emergency, requesting law enforcement backup from Ohio and Nebraska. National Guard members are stationed in front of businesses and office buildings. Stores have been boarded up. Buildings are surrounded by razor wire. State and local officials are trying to prevent a repeat of what happened last summer after George Floyd's death.
The National Guard has also been mobilized in some other major cities. Europe's drug regulator has found a possible link between the J&J COVID vaccine and rare blood clotting, but says the benefits outweigh the risks. Should proof of a COVID vaccination be required for international health organizations? Tarek Jasarevic says, at least for now, no.
The vaccines, on one hand, are not available everywhere. And secondly, we still don't know if being vaccinated implies that person will not be infected.
CBS's Ben Tracy tells us the pandemic recovery is not all good news as climate experts predict a 5% jump in emissions.
After carbon dioxide emissions plunged by a record 7% globally last year due to COVID lockdowns, emissions are now forecast to jump this year by the second biggest annual rise in history. The International Energy Agency is warning the jump in emissions will be second only to what happened 10 years ago after the global financial crisis.
Walter Mondale, who died yesterday at 93, is being hailed as a man who changed the vice presidency. D.C. Attorney Robert Barnett says under Jimmy Carter, he played an active role in the administration.
He had an office in the West Wing, duties. He also attended every important meeting, and he was a true partner with President Carter. Many vice presidents that have followed the path that Walter Mondale first walked.
A former researcher at Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, has been sentenced to 33 months in prison for conspiring to steal trade secrets and sell them to China. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 270 points. NASDAQ is down 128. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Jim Wilson, are customers surprised to find such a big selection of used vehicles here at Midland Ford Lincoln?
I've had many people tell me this is the best selection of used cars and trucks they've seen in Michigan. Not just quantity, but in the quality of our vehicles.
You seem to have the cars and trucks everyone is looking for. Expect to find only in classified ads by private parties.
Our volume sales means customers always have a bigger selection of better quality cars. Our minimum pricing policy means Midland Ford customers always pay less.
But better doesn't mean more expensive. You have cars and trucks in every price and payment range, even for the tightest budgets.
From inexpensive basic transportation to late model luxury and a great selection of trucks, we have what you're looking for. We currently have more tough Ford trucks and used Escapes and Explorers than we've ever had in our history.
America's falling in love with Ford, and you have a personal invitation to find out why today at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store, or go to midlandford.com.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
37 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. A fire in Standish yesterday prompted a shelter-in-place emergency from local authorities. It started about 3 o'clock at the Consumers Energy battery installation in the 400 block of Washington Street near Court Street. The shelter-in-place order was issued a half-mile radius due to potentially hazardous fumes from lithium-ion batteries at the locations. Hazmat teams were able to determine the air was clean of the fumes. The shelter-in-place order was lifted about 7 o'clock. A Huron County man suffered only minor injuries after crashing a small plane in Tuscola County Saturday. The 72-year-old Kindy man was flying a Cessna when he began to have engine trouble. He was unable to make a landing at the Cairo Airport in time and instead made an emergency landing on Graff Road in Indian Fields Township. The plane hit the ground with too much force, causing it to crash. The pilot refused treatment. The investigation has been handed over to the Federal Aviation. New reports on the quality of Bay City roads show many are still in need of repair or replacement. Rick Antonio has more.
A presentation by officials from Wade Trim Civil Engineers shows approximately 87% of Bay City roads are poor and suffering from deep cracks or structural integrity failure. The group had been hired to survey the roads as required by the State Transportation Asset Management Plan in order to understand the condition of roads through the city, as well as what repairs would be needed and what order they should be repaired in. Following the presentation, 8th Ward Commissioner Ed Clements says he believes the city should be utilizing the 22% fund balance it has available to remedy the road issue instead of saving while roads crumble.
After seeing the presentation earlier tonight that 87% of our streets and roads are poor, hundreds of millions of dollars are needed, but when we're sitting on a 22% fund balance and we're not a savings institution, we need to start spending money and benefit our residents. Roads is where it needs to be directed.
Of the 183.4 miles of roadway studied, only 24 scored a 5 out of 10 or higher rating on the state-recognized paving rating scale, with only 1% being considered in good condition. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hey, I'm Andy. I've been popping up on your radio for a while, telling you about the men's grooming company I founded called Harry's. Unfortunately, I'm still not famous. Today, I want to talk to you about our most requested product ever, deodorant. Thousands of guys have called, emailed, and commented asking us to make it. Just like a lot of guys, I have problems with sweat and odor. For years, we've all used the same deodorants, even though we have different needs, and it was hard to find the right one for me. So we did something. We designed our deodorant and antiperspirant to deliver what guys care about most. 3 levels of protection at different strengths for those who sweat a lot, or a little. All-day protection, 4 fresh signature scents, all for a fair price. We can't wait for you to try them. You can find our new antiperspirant at harrys.com or in a store near you. An aisle, or check them out today at harrys.com. Enjoy.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office says she traveled out of state more than a month ago to visit her elderly father, a snowbird who lives in Florida and has a chronic disease. The disclosure Monday came weeks after the governor warned the public about spring break trips amid a surge in coronavirus cases. 2 of her top aides also vacation in southern states despite a state recommendation to avoid travel. Spokesman Bobby Letty says Whitmer, quote, did not go on and went to, quote, assist her elderly father, who is battling a chronic illness, unquote. State Senator Lana Tice of the Brighton area says she doesn't begrudge Governor Whitmer from visiting her ailing father, but
I'd strongly encourage any family member who has an ailing parent or child to be able to have the opportunity to spend time with them when they're in ill health. The issue in this, the real issue, is the hypocrisy. It's astounding. Not only does she do this, but she keeps it quiet, and then she chastises the rest of us when we do it. She tells us all not to travel while she is.
Shut down. The Republican Tice says Governor Whitmer forbid families from getting together regardless of their health conditions. Starting startling statistics from the Federal Trade Commission on COVID-19 fraud. Here's more from Murray Feldman at the Michigan News Network.
The Federal Trade Commission has told 350 different companies to stop making false claims about COVID-19 treatments or potential earnings from selling COVID products or financial relief for small businesses. The FTC has collected and tracked 436,000 reports associated with COVID-19 claims. Many consumers fell for the frauds. Consumers have suffered $399 million in losses. The feds have cracked down on 13 companies that failed to deliver personal protective equipment. The FTC has been beefing up enforcement since there is now a COVID-19 Consumer Protection Act.
That was Murray Feldman reporting. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. High of 43 today with occasional sun. Mainly cloudy early tonight, then gradual clearing. Will cool to low near 26. Remaining unseasonably cool on Wednesday, but a warm-up is on the way late during the week. 42 breezy winds. Wednesday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 27. High of 54 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Thursday night, mainly clear, low near 38. High of 63 on Friday. Lots of sunshine. Friday night, becoming cloudy, a low of 42. Here's a high of 59 Saturday with a chance of rain. I'm Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 37.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities. On 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus. Today we focus on the downtown marketplace, the SVRC marketplace, and we welcome back the marketplace director. We say good morning to Rachel Trumbull. Rachel, good morning to you.
Good.
Thanks for joining us today. Before we get into the marketplace and some of the businesses and things happening at the marketplace, I know you told me there is a very special event going on that has to do with the Westland Clinic. And I think you said that Yolanda Bellinger, the director of the event, is going to be with us this morning. Is she there?
She is. She's right here.
Well, let's chat with her a little bit about this event. It is called Stomp Out Stigma. Yolanda, good morning to you.
Good morning to you too, Art.
So tell us about this event, Stomp Out Stigma. What's it all about?
So the Stop Out Stigma event is something that we started a couple of years ago, but because of COVID last year, we were unable to have it. So we're actually having the second annual Stomp Out Stigma this year, Saturday, May 22nd. The first year we wanted to bring awareness. This year we're again wanting to bring awareness, and really basically what our title is stomping out the stigma of mental illness. So bringing awareness and just allowing people to know that, you know, those that live with mental illness, that there is support out there, that we want to be, that there's a support and that they have confidence and that they're comfortable in reaching out if they need help.
How does the event work? How would one participate?
So one can participate by registering on our Facebook page, so Westland Guidance Clinic. If you go to our page, there's a registration tab on there. With that registration fee, you'll be able to receive a T-shirt and a mask. We are a walk to let the population know that, you know, our area, that we're walking for a reason here in regard to mental illness.
I have to ask, you know, with all the publicity given mental illness in the last few years, and it seems to be increasing, are we making progress in overcoming the stigma of mental health?
I think we are starting to make progress. I think that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and this is the reason. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so that's why we chose this month to speak out. Little by little, you know, as a social worker, I'd like to believe that we are starting to make that difference in getting the word out. And I think that that's the biggest part, is that you know, we need to get people educated and understanding that mental illness is very real. People do live with it. It doesn't have to be a stigma. You know, as long as people feel comfortable knowing what it is and talking openly, I think that we can bring awareness to our community.
Tell us about the Westland Clinic.
So Westland Guidance Clinic, we recently relocated to the marketplace here at 203 South Washington. So we were really excited to be able to be in this new, beautiful building. But Westland Guidance Clinic, we do treat all ages, anywhere from children 3 or 4 years old all the way up to adult ages. We have several therapists on hand. We do psychiatry. We have an autism program in the lower level here at the marketplace. We're involved in a lot of things, and so we're excited to be able to put on this event to help, again, get to people that may be seeking services.
Well, we need to talk again sometime before the event to remind everybody about it.
Absolutely. I would love to.
All right. We'll talk to you then, Yolanda. Thank you. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with Rachel, who is the marketplace director of the SVRC Marketplace. We will do that after these notes on Focus.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. The smart device stores up to 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on Focus, talking to Rachel Trumbull, the Marketplace Director at the SVRC Downtown Marketplace. Rachel, so as I ask you all the time, what's new at the Marketplace?
Yeah, so we have some new exciting businesses that have come to us, and so I'm proud to announce a few of those. We have now the Mini Donut Factory, and donuts, all different flavors that you could possibly imagine, and also fresh coffee, so that's always a good one. And we have a couple new businesses. We have Busy Prints. She does printing on T-shirts and all different kinds of things. We have another clothing business, and we have possibly a coffee business coming to us, and also we have one that's in the works, maybe offering some gumbo. So we have a bunch of different really great businesses that are possibly coming and that are here. And I'm proud to say we have almost a full market, which in the times that we're in is pretty successful, I would say.
Are we doing dining in?
We are doing dining in. Our seating area is open. So we're lucky to have quite a big square footage area. So we are able to have the dine-in. Our tables, of course, are within the 6 feet distancing, and we do make sure that the table are 6 or less. And of course, masks We have signs on our doors, so we appreciate the mask wearing. But yes, we are very much open. We've definitely seen a nice fluctuation as far as the community coming in and supporting the small businesses, which of course we very much appreciate.
And the hours that the marketplace is open again?
Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You have some idea when the farmers market is going to begin?
Yeah, so they are actually going to be opening up a week early. So they're going to be opening up the weekend of May 22nd. Typically, they open up Memorial Weekend, but they have decided this year that they're going to be opening up the weekend of May 22nd. And so, of course, we very much look forward to them. And their hours are going to be a little bit different as well. They're going to be open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. During the week, they'll be open 10 to 3, and then Saturdays, I believe, they're going to be open 10 to 1. So it's nice. Their open time with our open time, so that will be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it really is wonderful to go down there and have the farmers market open, and then be able to go inside and have lunch and enjoy all the businesses in the marketplace.
Yeah.
When I think of the marketplace, I think first of food. That's me.
Yeah.
And there are, I mean, it is a diverse group of restaurants, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm proud to say that we are one of the marketplaces in the Great Lakes Bay region that does serve a great variety. We have ethnic food. We have Mediterranean, we have Vietnamese, we have Mexican, and then we have American favorites. We have Divine Taste of Chicago that offers Chicago-style food. We have delicious sweet treats, and Rebecca's Bakery, she's now selling salads, which are absolutely beautiful and delicious. And we just have such a great variety to offer the community, which I absolutely love.
I know space is limited, but if somebody has an interest in starting a business, you can help them along the road, can't you?
Absolutely. Saginaw has so many great organizations within Saginaw that can help anybody start a small business. So, you can contact me. My information's on our Facebook page and our website, and you can contact me and we can set up an appointment, and I can definitely guide you in the right direction.
And let's remind everybody again that in May, Mental Health Awareness Month, Stomp the Stigma will be held. People can go to the Westland Guidance Facebook page and sign up for that.
And they can also go on our marketplace.
Good.
Our event page, and we have a really big event coming up this weekend. We have our Think Spring Makers Market. Right now, I currently have about 44 small businesses on top of our already 30 plus downstairs that are going to be joining us on Saturday, this Saturday, April 24th, from 10 to 5. So truly a great shopping day, supporting small business. We have Kids Rule Now, young entrepreneurs that are going to be selling their product. That's going to be located in our press room. We'll have live music. We have Num Num Ninja coming. They're an amazing food truck. I think you would love them. You must try them. And so Saturday is going to be our first really big event that we've had here at the market since COVID. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the community comes and embraces it, and of course supports small business.
And it's going to be how many businesses, you said? 44 over your normal?
Yeah, 44 on top of our over 30 downstairs. So I'm looking at about 80 small businesses plus our kids downstairs.
Where are you putting them?
I'm making room. Luckily, we have a really big, beautiful, over 100,000 square feet building. So, obviously, we're going to take our precautions, as of course, our COVID precautions. But luckily, we have the space where I can, it's just going to be a full day, and every nook and cranny is going to be full of, vendors.
Sounds
so
like fun.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
That's this Saturday. Again, what time?
10 to 6 is when we're open, and our other small businesses will be on our second floor, and they'll be joining us from 10 to 5. So you can shop, you can eat. The boardroom is now open. The patio is open. We have a tent above the patio. We have a new menu for that as well. You can grab, some wine, some Michigan beers. So lots and lots to do.
And let's end by telling everybody where you're located for those that might not know.
We are located at 203 South Washington. We are located next Saginaw, proud to be there, and next to Bourbon and Company. They're in the Bancroft building, the old building. So
very good, Rachel. Well, we look forward to talking to you again.
Yes, looking forward to talking to you too. Thanks so much.
You betcha. Bye-bye now. Rachel Trumbull, she is the managing director of the SVRC Marketplace. She's the Marketplace Director, if you will. We thank her for joining us today. Take our last break, come back and close out, and head off to Terry Henney's Farm Show after these notes.
It's official. The 35th annual Freeland Walleye Festival is back, April 23rd through 25th. Keeping everyone safe will be the top priority this year, and some activities will be different or not held. This year's festival includes the community-wide garage sales, the Walleye Festival fishing tournaments, Midway Carnival rides, the United Financial 5K and 10K run walk, the annual car show, and the disc golf tournament. Go to FreelandWalleyeFestival.com for event information or find them on Facebook. The Freeland Walleye Festival.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at Michigan.gov. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
The time has come to ask attorney Jerry Reif another question or two. First of all, a power of attorney. Is that enough for my estate plan?
Many people think having a power of attorney or a will is all the estate planning they need. While these two legal documents are important, they may not be enough for an effective estate plan.
Well, why is that, Jerry?
Well, let's look at what each of these documents actually do.
Okay.
A will is a letter to the probate court identifying who gets your personal and financial belongings, which is important after you pass away. A legal or financial power of attorney grants authority to someone else to make these decisions for you while you're alive.
Why isn't that enough then?
Well, first, it's essential to also have a medical directive, which grants authority to a person you trust to make healthcare decisions on your behalf when you can't. Second, a will may not be sufficient to protect all your assets. Third, depending on each individual situation, you may need all of the above plus one or more trusts or limited liability companies.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit .com or call 989-790-1461 today.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
The Focus Show on WSGW. Brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
All right, that's going to do it for Focus today. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Stick around now for Terry Henney and the Farm Show here on WSGW.
Woohoo! Hey, Stephen, what are you so excited about?
Well, Kelly, I just
on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day's going well for you, wherever you might be. Having a good day. We dressed accordingly. A little bit chilly overnight last night. It's going to get cooler yet as we go through the evening hours tonight and more than likely tomorrow night as well. Currently 37 degrees at the airport, 38 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 37. Downtown Bay City is at 36. We do have a west breeze. It has been gusting to 20 miles per hour. So that means we do have a wind chill at the airport, 29 degrees, 30.02 and rising is the barometric pressure, which is good. That means the system that generated all this is moved off to the east. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot more coming at us over the next couple of days. Not one, but two low pressure systems. One of them to the north of us that pushed the front through, and that's what caused the temperatures to take the nosedive and will be quite chilly. We are anticipating making it up to right around 40 degrees. I think about 42, 43 by the time the day is all done. We're not going to see much of anything in the way of sun as we go through, but very possibly this afternoon we'll get a little trace of seeing some sun before the second wave moves through. And by that, we're talking, first of all, some pretty chilly temperatures dropping down to about 27 for a low tonight. And what we're looking at right now is the chances of us dropping below the freezing mark are increasing as we go through the day right after midnight. And that could pose a problem for some folks, especially our orchards, where we are looking at a prolonged below freezing mark. And for that matter, with 27 and then 26 for a low tomorrow night. And in both cases, we are going to be looking at temperatures into that mid to upper 20 range for more than 3 hours at a time. So we could have a little bit of a problem. We do have a north wind tonight, right around 8 miles per hour. So that is going to be keeping the air moving a little bit. And then tomorrow, we'll have a northwest wind, about 12 to 15 miles per hour, becoming mostly westerly tomorrow night. So couple that with a west wind tomorrow night of right around 8, 9 miles per hour and 26 degrees. Boy, it's going to be close. Smudge pots, the chances are that they're not going to be very efficient because we do have a breeze, but then because of the breeze with air moving, at least we're not going to get a sharp freeze because conditions will be perfectly calm. You know, there's a lot of different variables that go into just how much damage we could possibly get. So we're just going to have to take a look and see as we move through the remainder of the day today and into the evening hours, just potentially what could happen. But freeze warnings are up. They're up for tonight and tomorrow night. So it'll be freeze warnings from now until Thursday morning, about 9, 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. As we said, there is a low pressure system north of Superior, one that moved through before. That is in Quebec province in Canada. And the third low is in southern Missouri. That one is going to be spreading measurable amount of snow through the Ohio River Basin. Unfortunately for us, it is going to be too far south to protect us a little bit, because quite honestly, if we'd have snow in the forecast, a covering of snow, that would really help, because it would mean that our temperatures are not going to drop down as much as what they will, because the system is further south and the high pressure system that's generating all of this is inching a lot closer to us over the Dakotas and Minnesota. So that's the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. And quite frankly, I would have hoped that our chances of snow would have been better because then our temperatures would have stayed up. So what are we looking at right now? 43 for a high, 27 for a low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 8:26, rise tomorrow morning at 6:44. If you're traveling down into southeast Michigan, the Detroit area, early tomorrow morning, there will be a chance of some slick roads down there. So give yourself a little bit more time. Tomorrow, a little warmer, 45, clearing as we go through the afternoon. Tomorrow night low will be 26. Then during the day on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 52 for a high, 36 for a low. Incidentally, last year, April the 20th, our low was 29. Last year, April the 21st, our low was 27. And last year, April the 22nd, we broke a record low, 22. Again, all of that a year ago, and some folks do remember the damage that did take place in some of our orchards off to the west. Sun will set this evening, 8:26, rise tomorrow morning at 6:44. Long-range outlook to take us all the way through the 3rd of May. Temperatures pretty close to average. Precipitation values maybe just a tad above average. But where we're going to have a turnaround, a major turnaround, it appears right now is going to be as we approach Mother's Day, get into the Mother's Day weekend, and then the week after that, where we're going to tie several days, if not a few weeks, of above average temperatures once we cross through the Mother's Day weekend. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We'll touch base with Rick Hollister from the Andersons in just a moment, but we want to remind everybody the weather forecast has been brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Yeah, the weather this year, last year, this fall, the headlines in agriculture always are about the markets and the weather. So don't let Mother Nature give you sleepless nights and ruin your life. Wiki Crop Insurance of Chesaning is ready to secure your future and let you sleep well. Rest easy knowing that Kyle Byron and Wiki Crop Insurance has you covered. Give him a call toll free, 888-845-7916, or go online at wikicrop.com. Fast, reliable, and thorough. Wiki Crop Insurance. You can depend on them. Rick Hollister, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, Terry. Thank you. How are you?
Hey, we're not doing too bad. Everything looking pretty good so far out there. I understand the oats planting is progressed right along. Wheat looks mighty fine. You know, in both cases, I really don't think this cold weather is going to affect, especially the wheat, very much. Do you?
There's concern in the Oklahoma panhandle, Texas panhandle, that there's freeze warnings up there, and the wheat's a little farther along. You know, it gets that growing point or that starting that stem growth and jointing where you can really do some damage. So that's kind of the concern we're focused on today. I don't think there's a lot of wheat in Michigan or in the Eastern Belt, maybe some Central Ohio wheat that's that far along, but I don't think our wheat's quite that far yet, but boy, it depends on how many hours we're below that freezing mark, Terry, or how low the lows get. But really, it's how many hours below freezing that we stick and stay for the next couple of nights. And we're concerned that the soybeans that got planted here April 1st in Michigan, probably if they've popped those first two leaves through, Could be some damage there too. They may need to be replanted like they were last year. Because of last year's cold spell, right in the same time slot here.
Isn't that something, how that works,
yeah,
how history repeats itself?
Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't it? Just looking back a year. Yep.
It is. So what do we have on the board right now, Rick?
Well, corn's up 13 on the old crop. We are up 8 or 9 on the new. Soybeans are up 20. On the old crop, 15 on the new. Wheat's pretty much up 15 across the board. So old crop corn at the moment at Hemlock is at 588. That's new highs, of course. New crop for fall delivery is at 485. Old crop soybeans at 1465. New crop soybeans at 1253. Old crop red wheat at 642. New crop at 629. That's a new high there as well this year. White wheat for old crop at 652, new crop white wheat at 629.
All righty. Rick, you take care. Have a good day. Stay warm. We'll talk to you in a few. All righty?
Keep the winter coat handy.
I will. Rick Hollister over at the Andersons in Hemlock. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. To Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Bader & Sons Company, a John Deere dealership with 10 stores from Southeast Michigan to the bridge. The Bader family proudly supports farmers and growers through this and other agriculture and lawn and gardening efforts. To learn more, go to greentractors.com. And by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal. That's a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. So give them a call for a quote today. Doug Klein, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, we're rocking and rolling, and so are the markets right now.
A little bit. Got a lot of speculative activity right now, and especially the grains. No sellers left, so up she goes. New highs almost across the board, except for the May wheat, and they got close, but not quite. And then a lot of money coming off the table in the crude oil markets. That's down 2%. Gasoline also down 2%, and heating oil is about 1.8% down. And they're also taking some more cautious position on the stock market, which has been frothy for a while. So, there's nothing to worry about. They're still playing on a lot of house money, but who knows? We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Here's your numbers. The May corn is 605 and a half. It's up 13.5 cents. December corn 528, up 7 3/4. May soybeans 1471 and a quarter, up 21.5. The November soybeans 1299, up 15. May wheat is 668 and a half, up 16 and a quarter, and the December wheat 676 and a quarter, up 14 and a half. Crude oil 62.03, down $1.40. Heating oil 186.45, down 3.3 cents. Gasoline $2 and a half a penny, that's down 4.2 cents. Natural gas unchanged right now, 288 and a half. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2580 at the border. That's up 48 ticks. The yen is at 108.06, down 9 ticks. The euro is at 120.35, up 2 ticks. The dollar's at 91.18, up 11.5 ticks. Gold's at 1774.90, up $5.50. Silver's at 25.87, up 3.5 cents. Platinum's at 11.90.70. That's down $13.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Well, the subject of our conversation so far has been a whole lot about the weather and a whole lot about the cold temperatures. So figured I better just check in with Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center over in Essexville. Jerry, we chit-chatted a little bit about it yesterday. Pretty chilly weather, but as we mentioned this morning, about a year ago, this happened, the very same thing. And what do you recall was the net result last year?
Terry, we had some bud damage on some plants, but it's every year is you can have the same event. You're right, Terry, year after year, but you have more wind this year, less wind, and there's a lot of things that could affect how much damage you get. The one thing I'm looking at is our growing degree days at base 32. This year we're at 620, and last year we were at 425. So that means we're probably a little bit further along with leafing out and growing than we were last year. So, possibly this could be a little worse. If there's something you can cover, I'd suggest to cover it. And if you can, try and get a draping down to the ground so the ground temperature can help keep that that warmth in the ground, even though the warmth, we're talking maybe 45 or 40 degrees, but compared to 20-something, that's warm, right?
You got that right.
And we can get that to warm up. And the same thing, I've got a pear tree that is espalier, so that means it's grown flat and it's up against the wall. So I'm going to take a sheet and I'm going to clip it up to the eaves trough and try and keep that thing warm. So hopefully I get some pears on my tree this year. So again, it's going to be a wait and see. Redbud are pushing out right now and going along. Japanese maple are typically very sensitive to it. So we'll have to keep an eye on those as the weeks come and see how we fare.
And again, for most people, I don't know, but I am assuming the advice would be, don't worry, it isn't going to kill the tree. It's just you're not going to have the leaves or the blossoms or whatever that you normally would have.
And so it could kill the tree. Sometimes I know we've had frosts and freezes in the past that have devastated Japanese maple across the area. So it could, but worry about it. What are you going to do? You're going to take what you get and you're going to move on, because Mother Nature, we can't control her. She's going to do what she wants to do, and we're just going to deal with the outcomes.
Yep, you got that right. Jerry, you take care. Have a good one. All righty.
Yes, sir. Talk to you tomorrow.
Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. When we return, we're going to talk a little bit more about the effect of the crops, and in particular, the orchards on the west side of the state, when we touch base with Ashley Davenport from Michigan Ag Today. She comes along in a moment.
Hi, I'm Steve Cook from the Cook GM Superstore Ambassador, and I've got good news, better news, and the best news. The good news is that despite record low inventories across the country, we still have Equinoxes, Blazers, and Traverses in stock. Better news is that we've got lots of Equinox, Blazers, and Traverses arriving all month. And the best news is we'll let you reserve one even before it gets here. Check these out. You can keep your cash. That's right, zero down, lease a Traverse starting as low as $294 a month. Keep your cash and lease a Blazer for just $249. And would you believe Equinoxes with zero down are now only $215 a month? So don't hesitate. Get out today while you still have a choice. That's Cook Chevrolet Buick, M15 Top of the Hill Ambassador.
Payments based on 36-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. $644 on Equinox, $749 on Blazer, $845 on Traverse due at signing. Call toll-free or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com. Chevy, find new roads.
So let's talk about the effects of cold weather, especially on some of our trees and orchards over on the west side of the state. The early start to warm weather across Michigan has fruit growers on high alert, with a blast of cold temperatures and snow predicted in some areas of the state and also in Indiana and Ohio. Ashley Davenport has more.
But cooler temperatures last week and this week have decelerated development.
Generally, right now, everything looks good. The abnormally warm weather is past, and now we're having a slug of abnormally cool weather. And so that slowed the plants down, which makes everybody happy.
Mark Longstroth is the small fruit educator with MSU Extension. He says in Berrien County, most of the fruit crops are blooming. Some pears and apples in Kalamazoo and Van Buren counties are starting to open.
The later the bloom date comes, the less likely it is we'll get freeze injury. So now at this point in time, when the crops are actually blooming, if we get down below 30 degrees, we get worried, but we don't generally see an awful lot of damage until we get down below 29, 28 degrees. And if we go to 25, then we can expect widespread damage.
And where Michigan's fruit is grown also has an impact on frost damage.
Most of the fruit crops are grown on the tops or the sides of hills, so that when we have a freeze where we've got clear, calm nights, the cool air goes down and puddles in the low spot. The really good fruit spots are where people grow things like peaches and sweet cherries and wine grapes. They're the least likely to freeze.
On Good Friday, some areas saw lows in the teens. Longstreth said that did some damage to apple trees around Grand Rapids and sweet cherries. He says despite that freeze, blueberries and grapes are starting to move.
Right now, it looks like a pretty good crop coming, but we probably have another couple of weeks where we have to worry about spring freezes. Yes, our season warms up earlier and the plants start growing earlier, but it seems like the date of the last freeze of spring is also moving earlier and earlier in the year. It's not like we have to worry until mid-May anymore. We only have to worry until end of April, beginning of May.
Longstreth added that if these cooler temperatures push the crop back further in development, it will be made up later in the season.
That was Ashley Davenport. And as far as crop progress is concerned, 40% of the winter wheat is jointing in the state of Michigan. The 5-year average is 8. And when it comes to sugar beets emerged, about 14% is emerged. Almost 2/3 of the crop has been planted. The 5-year average for planted sugar beets right now is 11%. So that just gives you an idea how far ahead we are so far. Steve Anderson joins us in a moment.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. It's new parts for old tractors right now. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. We say good morning to Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Steve, what's going on in New York right now?
Well, right now we are heading lower. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 288 points, putting it at 33,788. Volumes 378 million shares. NASDAQ down 161, 13,753. Volume is 403 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 226.30, down 609. Deere 369.45, down 11.27. CMS 65.51, up 139. Dow 62.58, down 197. DuPont 74.82, down 215. Cortevas 46.80, that's down 72. GM 55.43, down 246. Trinzio 61.97, down 239. Walmart 140.85, up 114. Home Depot 322.91, down 394. Huntington Banks is 15.34, down 53. TCF 45.59, down 146. And AT&T is 29.87, down 12.
Steve Anderson, you have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will. You do the same.
All righty.
Power meets precision in the new T9 Series tractor with PLM Intelligence. New Holland's most advanced and powerful four-wheel drive tractor ever is available now at Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City. The T9's connectivity makes managing your farm, fleet, and data easy. You can share information with providers, perform diagnostics remotely, even make data-driven decisions from anywhere. And you can do it all with best-in-class power, a luxury cab, and the first-ever CVT transmission in an articulated four-wheel drive tractor. See power, meet precision at Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, or Beale City today and get a first-hand look at the new T9 with PLM Intelligence.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. They do want to take your diesel to another level. You do get more power, cleaner injectors, maximum lubricity, year-round protection, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valvetech Petroleum. Available at Foster Blue Water Oil. Just get a hold of your Foster representative or go online, fosterbluewateroil.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Steve Kathan. A jury is at work deliberating on the Derek Chauvin murder case. CBS's Steve Futterman is in Minneapolis.
There are 3 separate charges the jury must reach a verdict on. The most serious charge is second-degree murder. Derek Chauvin is also charged with third-degree murder, and then the least serious charge, second-degree manslaughter. The jurors are being sequestered during the deliberations. They are staying in a hotel, not going home. Contact with family members is limited.
President Biden moments ago said today he spoke with George Floyd's family after the jury was sequestered.
I can only imagine the pressure and anxiety they're feeling. And so I waited till the jury was sequestered and I called.
He says he prays the verdict is the right verdict. Correspondent Jeff Pegues says the Minneapolis area is bracing for any possible trouble.
3,000 National Guard are deployed across downtown and throughout the city to head off the kind of riots that destroyed $350 million in property last summer when George Floyd was killed. Local law enforcement says it is ready.
The number one focus for us is de-escalation. We don't want to use force if we do not have to.
National Guard is being utilized in several other major cities. There's a fresh look at the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine, which has been paused in this country.
8 cases of rare blood clots among the more than 7 million Americans who've had the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine have led European regulators to this conclusion.
These blood clotting disorders are very rare side effects of the vaccine.
But Dr. Sabina Strauss says the European rollout of the J&J vaccine should continue because many more people will die of COVID without it. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Pandemic denier rocker Ted Nugent now reveals he had COVID and said he could, quote, hardly crawl out of bed in a social media post. Springtime warmth is on hold for some parts of the country. Meteorologist Jeff Baradelli says a cold snap is threatening to topple some records.
We have freeze warnings that are in effect right now from northern Texas and Oklahoma, right across the mid-Mississippi Valley region, places like Kansas City and St. Louis, all the way up to Chicago, Indianapolis, and Detroit. As many as 75 record lows are possible.
The snow could be an issue later on this week in northern New York and New England. Several doctors have been prevented from seeing Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny at a prison hospital after his 3-week hunger strike. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 293 and the NASDAQ is down 167. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need certainty in the home buying process with a loan that fits your life, Rocket can.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
37 degrees at 12:03. Good afternoon. I'm Ian Williams.
Consumers Energy is in the process of expanding